We are Cold Slither, you'll be buying us soon. In your collection, you better make room. That's right, folks, it's Yojo June. And we have had the first live stream of Yojo June. To kick things off, we got to see the San Diego Comic Con exclusive Cold Slither box set, based on Zartan and the Dreadnoks band in the 80s cartoon that hypnotised some of the Joes with their music. And it's a really fun looking set. It is the more wacky side of GI Joe and Cobra, which may not appeal to all collectors, but I love it. So, grab your guitar, get your glam heels ready and blow dry that big 80s glam rock hair as we are going to talk the SDCC Cold Slither box set and plenty more GI Joe Classified Yojo June reveals on TAKTAK Toys. I absolutely love the look of all the Dreadnought band members, although Zartan, Torch and Ripper might be my favourites. But Buzzer is really good as well. Monkey Wrench appears as the doorman on the box set, and he's strangely absent from the group, same as the cartoon, and Zarana and Xandar also absent, who are Zartan's brother and sister. Lenny has teased about doing a modern update of this band, not just the 80s cartoon accurate version, and that would also be really cool to see, as would Gem and the holograms in classified scale. Their poster is teased on the side of the Cold Slither box art, or Satin and Shipwreck and Snake Eyes and Timber in their band disguises. Now that would be awesome for a battle of the bands set up for toy photography between GI Joe and Cobra. And Satin and her band, including Shipwreck, Snake Eyes and Timber in disguise, might need to entertain the troops, particularly those who have had a long day standing guard, such as the Steel Corps, who have been guarding the defence post. Now this was a name only revealed, and what does it mean? Well, it's essentially going to be the GI Joe equivalent of the Trench Viper and Cobra modular fortification that has been disappearing and popping up on Hasbro Pulse, and was also available on Kapow and In Demand Toys. Now this is one I like the idea of. When the Trench Viper and Cobra modular fortification was announced, both myself and Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse, my Joes and Juice co-host along with Dan Who, our host, both of us said we would like a Joe version of this Cobra diorama. And here we go. Now here you can see pics of the GI Joe Steel Corps flying off into battle and defending some makeshift outpost. Steel Corps are essentially some of the faceless army troops that are integrated into the GI Joe ranks, compared to the specialists that make up the core unit of GI Joe, such as Duke, Scarlet, Flint, Lady J and more. So I'm definitely excited to see how this one turns out. And Lenny mentioned the battle with Grow with the Steel Corps and diorama set, and knowing is half the battle, and taking the battle from the defence post to the desert. Lenny's name only reveal was the Desert Scorpion with Pet Scorpion. So this is art of what to expect in classified form. And these are cool. I'll definitely be in for at least a good few of these to battle my Desert Commando Snake Eyes, which I have on my shelf as his own original ninja character called Dead Game, in honour of Rob Liefield's Snake Eyes mini comic run called Snake Eyes Dead Game. And the Desert Scorpions can also battle Dusty, although I'm sure a Dusty version 2 with Pet Coyote Sandstorm. And maybe a vehicle that could get Dusty to the battlefield to battle Desert Scorpions, with Crankcase in the driving seat, the AWE Striker, and they went through all the bells and whistles, removable rocket launchers on the roof, and they modelled the tyres on RC cars so they are squishy tyres, and a toolkit, radio comm and more. And of course the AWE Striker is a classic vehicle that has been given a classified update, but the next reveal might need transport in the form of a police car or SWAT van. And might we see a 1/12th police charger or SWAT van as a vehicle in the anniversary or legacy line? Well, who knows, but to accompany the firefighter we have the police officer. And for me personally, this was the reveal of the stream. Yes, even more than the Haslab tease announcement that we will get to, I wasn't massively keen on the Firefighter and gave that one a pass, as it's a bit more civilian compared to my GI Joe collection and doesn't quite fit in my collection for me, but the Firefighter would be great if you have viewed GI Joe Classified from afar so far and collect other 6-inch Hasbro lines, such as Marvel Legends, and want some firefighters to be coming to the scene of Spider-Man saving people from a burning building or something like that, and the same can be said here for the police officer. Tons of accessories, 2 different head options, the option to have a street cop or a SWAT officer is really cool. Larry Hama has recently written an issue of GI Joe where Agent Helix and a bunch of Joes are arrested by the police when Agent Helix and the Joes turn up on a beach and a civilian dials 911. Thinking they are terrorists coming out of the water, they do have a mutant cyborg Dr. Mindbender with them as a hostage. But seeing these cops immediately makes me think of the play possibilities that I could have with the street cops interacting with Joes. And of course, Cobra have bases of operation throughout America in towns called Springfield, which are real towns with populations, emergency services, etc. So these could also be Springfield Cobra police officers. The possibilities are endless. And then we got the reveal or digital render of the Mercer and Sergeant Slaughter 2-pack as leaked by the Sarge himself. So this is the cartoon version of Mercer, not the Energon Universe one, although I'm sure that figure is coming in, classified at some point down the line. And Mercer is an ex-Viper who defected to the Joes and joined Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades, along with other members Taurus and Red Dog. And a nice little touch that was Tony from the Hasbro team's idea for the Sarge to have a whistle in his mouth. So this Seagant is a figure that can fit in your classified collection smashing some bats to pieces, or in your wrestling collection giving 80s Hulk Hogan a hard time. And then from Seagant, Slaughter and Mercer and the digital reveals, we go to the first of the pre-orders which is available now, Slice and Dice from Ninja Force. And Slice and Dice both look excellent. They join Nunchuck to build out the Ninja Force a bit more. I want a Ninja Force Banzai, and he's one of my characters I want in classified form as part of my Yojo June shorts. And depending on when this video goes live, I'll add the link to that short in the comments below. So Slice and Dice is a 2-pack where loads of parts can be swapped, and the Rice Patty Hat, as Lenny called it, can double up as a shield. So everything is functional. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were fast as lighting. And Slice and Dice aren't going to have it all their own way, not if Budo has anything to say about it. Shout out to Adam Batman Moran, this is a favourite of his, and this could be his gateway into the line. And you can either have a classic look or a more modern one with Budo. And they wanted to capture a Ronin wandering, masterless samurai with Budo, the classified team said. And then from Budo to Colonel Hawk in his Marvel Comics 80s GI Joe appearance with the MMS, the GI Joe equivalent of the Cobra, HMS and Techno Viper. So yeah, in Marvel Comics in the 80s, before Duke was the battlefield commander of GI Joe, Colonel Hawk was before he became General Hawk. And Colonel Hawk even fought Cobra Commander on the back of a moving vehicle. Cobra Commander shot Colonel Hawk, and the issue ended with Cobra Commander escaping and a mortally wounded Hawk found by the Joes. Spoiler, he survived. So Hawk was the original Man of Action leader before Duke came onto the scene, and Hawk took overall command of GI Joe as General Hawk. So the classified team said they had to de-age the character, and this is exactly how Colonel Hawk looked in the Marvel Comics GI Joe run as part of the original 13 Joes. I personally want the MMS more than Colonel Hawk, as I have classified General Hawk already, but I can add Colonel Hawk to the Joes that I play with that aren't part of the main display. And that closed out the current pre-orders. Emily said the team will be back weekly with new content, so we will loads to cover on the channel. And Emily started dropping cool, frosty and more hints about the GI Joe Classified Haslab, which points to a snowcat. The strange thing about this is that the team have previously unofficially stated the snowcat would be a main vehicle and too small to be a Haslab. Now, of course, the Haslab may not be the snowcat, but it's difficult to see what other large snow-based vehicles it could be unless it's something water-based. That could mean the 2026 Haslab is the Dreadnought Thunder Machine. As the Snowcat and Thunder Machine have been on the classified rumoured list for ages, I personally hope I can get a Thunder Machine as a mainline vehicle, as it's my most wanted vehicle. But we will see. So what did you see that got you excited from the GI Joe Classified stream? Let me know in the comments below! I think the Marvel Legends team had a banger of a stream with their Marvel vs Capcom stream. That's going to take some beating. Although from the Classified stream, the best reveal so far was the Legacy line. Police Officer, I can't wait to army build those. And if you're in the mood for more GI Joe Classified content, I have YouTube Shorts on the channel daily throughout June, with characters I'd like to see in GI Joe Classified. Today, Banzai from Ninja Force goes live on the channel. So now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Yo Joe, and until next time, enjoy those flicks and figs.